the complete Midnight Leatherworking guide based on hundreds of hours with professions on the beta. We're covering the best way to level up leatherworking, how to get all the profession knowledge possible so you can maximize the gold you make, all the knowledge builds you may potentially want to be running, and some min-max tips that you won't see in any other videos. Let's get into it. For profession leveling then, the first phase is to get us to around 60 profession skill, and for that we're going to need 690 void tempered leather, 610 void tempered scales, 3 void tempered hide, 2 void tempered plating, 4 Motes of Light, 1 Mote of the Pure Void, 4 Peerless Plumage, 3 Carving Canine, 4 Fantastic Fur, and 10 Tranquillity Bloom, which is a herb. The list of all that is in the description below if you need it. Now the leveling process I suggest is actually really simple. You're going to turn on first time crafts and you're just going to craft one of everything. That's one of all the leather and armour pieces, profession gear, regents, everything. This is going to give you a huge amount of first time crafts and profession moxie that we're going to need to make our profession profitable in the long term. As to what to do with all this stuff we just crafted, you can potentially try selling it. Definitely the regents will sell, maybe the profession gear, but the market is going to be flooded with most of this stuff. Disenchanting is probably the best option. Now we're going to first time craft everything except infused scale woven hide. This requires majestic hide to craft and it's going to be insanely expensive at the start of the expansion. You may have to come back and pick up this knowledge point at a later date. If you craft everything correctly, then you should use up exactly the right amount of materials that I listed before. This should bring you to just over 60 profession skill, 29 profession knowledge, and 220 profession moxie. Now, how about us pushing to 100 profession skill then? There is absolutely no need to rush to cap leatherworking skill early, as profession skill doesn't really matter until you're able to produce rank 2 items. If you need it, then level it of course. If you don't, then just leave it as long as possible, as the longer you leave it, the materials just get cheaper and cheaper and it just becomes much easier for you to do over time. Plus, you'll naturally gain skill over time through patron orders while you're earning knowledge a lot of the time anyway. If you're going to be an armour crafter, then you can level up simply by doing your thing, crafting epics. If you don't quite have the skill to craft max rank because your profession skill is too low, you can always use finishing regents that give plus skill until you have enough skill to craft it naturally. The same is true for profession gear, using plus skill finishing regents and you can fake it until you make it basically. If you're going down the mass crafting regent, armour kit and drums route, then you can unlock devouring banding pretty early on. Now all the embellishments will take you to 100 skill, although they go green at 90, but all of these are quite cheap to craft. Now if you are a gear or a profession gear crafter and you do want to power level your profession a bit easier, you can pick up the Primal Spore Binding embellishment from the auction house, or the Blessed Pango Charm recipe. This comes from a short quest line in Zul'Aman and you can just spam craft these, but yeah, they will turn green at 90. Your first big priority is collecting all 8 leatherworking profession treasures. These give you 24 knowledge points total and they are absolutely crucial early on. We're going to grab the Artisan's Considered Order from 44.7, 56.1 in Central Silvermoon next to the Craft Order Guide. Now over to Atal'Aman, that's the subzone within Zul'Aman, so make sure you're in the right zone. Bundle of Tanner's Trinkets is at 45.2, 45.3. Now out into the main Zul'Aman zone to the Armani Leatherworker's Tool is in the cave at 33.1, 79.0. Next we head south to grab the prestigiously racked hide inside a temple-like building at 30.7, 84.1. Over to Harandar next, and we're going to grab the Hanari Leatherworking Mallet from 51.7, 51.3 in the Den area, so that's the main questing hub in this zone. Grab that Haranir Leatherworker's Knife from the far northwest of Harandar, just laying on the ground at 36.1, 25.2. We are heading to Slayer's Rise next, that's the subzone within Northern Voidstorm. The patterns beyond the void are at 53.8, 51.6. And finally at 34.7, 56.9 in the main Voidstorm zone, we have the Ethereal Leatherworking Knife just sat on the ground. All those waypoints are in the description below. Weekly long-term knowledge that we can grab them. When it comes to patron orders, you want to prioritize any orders that reward Glimmer of Midnight Leatherworking knowledge. These give 2 knowledge points each and will be the biggest factor in progressing your profession in the long term. But these are also extremely valuable early on as well. It's also worth saving your concentration for these because sometimes you'll get a rank 2 requirement that you simply cannot craft and you don't want to miss out. Concentration can sort that problem out. If you start to fall behind on your knowledge, you may also begin to see flickers of Midnight Leatherworking knowledge. These give 1 knowledge point each. Do these and they're going to help you catch up. Before you do any of your patron orders, your profession order gives you a weekly quest to complete patron orders. This rewards even more knowledge points. You're going to be doing patron orders anyway, so just make sure you grab this quest first, and don't forget, so annoying to find a quest at the end of the week that you forgot to pick up. Just like in the last expansion, each week you can collect a Thalassian Man Oil and a Armani Tanning Oil. These come from World Treasures. They give you 2 knowledge points each. That's 4 knowledge points total per week from grabbing these. Also, when the Dark Moon Fair is active at the start of the month, you can pick up an easy free knowledge points just by doing a quest that takes just a few minutes. Importantly, this is available during the week that Midnight launches, so don't miss it in the expansion hype. Remember, you can get an inscription character to make you a weekly treatise consumable. It's a free extra knowledge point every single week. There's also a Renown reward that we can use to get some more knowledge. At Renown 6, you can buy Whispers of the Lower Leatherworking from the Reputation vendor in Zul'Aman. This gives you another 10 knowledge points. Renown 6 isn't that hard to get, and it shouldn't take you too long if you want this. Leatherworking also has a really large amount of knowledge available from recipes that are not from your trainer. Just remember, all recipes are first time crafts, so each of these recipes is worth 1 knowledge point the first time you craft it. There are 16 PvP recipes in total, and also a couple of decor recipes as well. Now these are going to be expensive at the start of Midnight, so this is a huge investment, but they should drop in price over time. That being said, 16 knowledge points is pretty massive, so if you do want to min-max knowledge really early, you can gain a lot here, but it's going to cost you a lot as well. So specialization setup. Let's start with commodity or region crafting, basically crafting all the stuff that's going to sell on the region-wide auction house for leatherworking. So this is the drums, this is the hides, all that kind of stuff. For this, we're going to use a multicraft tool with a multicraft enchant. Our first 30 points are going to mastering multicraft for the huge multicraft bonuses. Then we put our next 30 points into waning wastes for the resourcefulness bonus. We are pretty well set up here for crafting the majority of commodity leatherworking crafts at rank 1. We can barely improve this any further with knowledge. From here we need to allocate quite a lot of points to be able to unlock rank 2 crafting. But if you put these first 60 points with 30 points into flawless fortes and 30 points into commanding commodities, as these have a bit of resourcefulness in them, so help with the rank 1 crafting as well. From here max out learned leatherworking, and then your next 20 points into whatever it is you want to craft at rank 2. You will max all these eventually anyway. The top node is armor kits, the middle node is Reagents, and the bottom row is embellishments. You'll get them all eventually, so this is just a priority order choice. That's basically it. You can craft all of these Reagents at rank 2 now perfectly. Profession gear crafting setup for leatherworking is crazy easy. We want to be running a resourcefulness tool with a resourcefulness enchant here. 30 points into flawless fortes and 30 points into artisanal accessories, and you have all of your plus skill available from the knowledge tree here. Once you have that, then you can head over to learned leatherworking and max out the waning waste node, increase your rate of resourcefulness procs. This is nice when you are crafting profession gear for people. From a knowledge setup, that's you capped for profession gear. Just so you are aware, you can pick up the profession gear recipes from Moxie from the leatherworking supply vendor right next to the trainer. Gear crafting then is quite simple too. We want to be running a resourcefulness tool with a resourcefulness enchant. So whatever you want, say for example boots, you just want to max out that node and then the 2 nodes leading to it. This is going to cost you 80 knowledge points to max out your very first craft, but it is going to get easier from here. The next 60 knowledge points you spend is going to max out another 3 armor pieces. Now at some point, you want to go over to learned leatherworking and spend 35 knowledge points to max out waning waste. Resourcefulness procs on gear crafting is really nice for your gold making as well. The point at which you decide to come away from unlocking more maxed out recipes to do this is completely up to you, but it's there as a goal and will help long term. There are also finishing regions to give extra skills such as Apprentice Scribbles +5, Artisanal Ledger +10, Mentor's Helpful Handiwork +20, and the Artisan's Gold Star at +50. I don't really see much long-term use for these in leatherworking. See the main use for these being in the early expansion for gear and profession gear crafters to push their skill high enough to be able to craft high-end crafts before they have the natural skill to be able to do it. As a note here, you can combine 5 Mentor's Handiwork +20 finishing regions into an Artisan's Gold Star +50. So you can effectively buy the +50 skill finishing region here from the auction house. That's potentially useful as well and something we've never had before. From the Artisans Consortium payout bags from the patron orders, you'll get bind on pickup finishing regions. These can give you bonuses to multicraft, resourcefulness or ingenuity. Save these for your highest value rank 2 crafts. The multi-craft ones are nice for something like infused hide. Resourcefulness ones are good when crafting anything heavy in rank 2 materials, like horrible crafting orders basically. Crafting speed is extremely important if you want to maximise your gold per hour while crafting, at least for commodities anyway. The File of Quick Hands from Dragonflight still works in Midnight and gives 30% crafting speed on Midnight crafts. Time of recording, Weaver buff from the War Within is still working as well on all Midnight crafts. And finally, one of the most important parts on any profession is knowing what you're crafting is actually a profit. Always check this with add-ons, sheets, all that kind of stuff. So that's the complete levelworking guide for Midnight. If you found this helpful, I'd really appreciate a like. We have over 20 in-depth Midnight profession guides that are free to everyone on the Discord, link below. Come and join us.